Good afternoon, I'm Tiro, and these are notes for tile mapping. Tile mapping is a very basic technique to create large environments in a two-dimensional game, commonly used in platformers, but I believe you know what I will use it for. And it's very simple. You create a two-dimensional array, and then you paint by number. So, instead of having a giant map of a 25 size picture, we just define an array with simple integers and only load up two image files and have the same 25 picture size. Because this is very simple, we can get a large amount of complexity out of it. So instead of having two textures, we can have 100 to create very detailed maps. But also we can switch things around. So here's the exact same array, but now we have an ocean with a bridge rather than a field with a river. Okay, now some issues. First is paging, because we have our hero. Yay! And the world. Yay! Well, not yet. There we go. The real world. Aha. Now, if we load the entire map, or pictures, we will be bogged down, and it's just as bad as if we load up a solid bitmap. So what we do is we just load up the surrounding areas, like so. But we only display what is around our character. And as our character moves around, there's plenty of information that the computer or the console is ready to use. But we still come across a problem of the boundaries, because right now we just fall off the edge of the world, but even so we kind of get to blank nowheresville. To avoid this, when we get to the midpoint of any other outside file or outside section, we repage. So now we are ready to go again. Remember, we have the whole map information in the background. We're just loading and changing the sprites. And that is why in older Zelda games, and even the first Mega Man, sometimes when you do a screen change, there's a little pause because it's paging. Okay, now the next issue is boundaries, where we have a defined world, but here we go. We still come to across end of the world. Here, in the normal stage, there really isn't anything extra to go beyond here, but we kind of have to go to an edge to go in the pipe, So, to resolve it is that once we get to a defined boundary, we freeze the camera. I just messed this up. Anyways, camera. Pochi. There we go. Pretend that's that. We freeze the camera and then we move the character alone. And then once we get back out of boundaries, we move the camera with the character. This is why there may be a maxim or a tip saying, your character is not the center of the universe. It's to avoid this situation, because if your character is the center of the universe, you come across boundary issues like here. However, me being a lazy program, I might just do a quick fix of defining the areas in the pages so that there's never a situation where you have blank information. It makes the map larger, but might be simpler. Okay, now tidbits. Okay, first, when you define your map, everyone always says put a header on the file, even if it's nothing. They say it's very useful because later on you always think, oh, I wish I could add this stuff. Well, the header is there and ready for you to use. When you define the tiles, it's going to be basic X, Y in this picture. But the thing is to have booleans to help control behavior. For example, there's walkable. Can you walk on this tile? So grass and forest is okay, but mountains and water aren't. Another important one is a door. When you step on a door, you're going to load a whole new map from a different file. This is not paging. This is like entering a town and going to the world map, or entering a dungeon cave and leaving the dungeon. This is, you're going to have to load up a whole new environment. Damage would be for damage squares like lava or poison. Items, I guess, would be chest searches. I don't know. I even think there should be one called corridor, where the NCPs can't walk on it to avoid the annoying block the door situations. Okay. Now, there are many programs out there to do tile mapping, but there's some problems. Most of them seem to be designed just for creating images. So this is basically for pen and paper RPG situations. What I like about Tile Mapper is that it has a lot of tools for you to paint textures. Other programs, they usually have to have your own set, but here it's very fluid. Just watch the demo video and you'll understand what I mean. But when you save your map file, you can save it in text format, XML, instead of just the definition file for the program. So with this text, I'm able to parse it and use the information rather than having to hand code everything bit by bit. Also, this is free, so yeah, that's good. Now, some entrails. Isometric and hexagonal are different ways to do tile mapping. In fact, it is tile mapping. All it is the math is slightly different. Isometric is just used because it looks better. It's basically pseudo 3D. So, but it's a it looks 3D, but it's actually 2D. So it's very easy to create a nicer look without having to worry about full-edge graphics. Hexagonal is the exact same thing. It's a different map, different type of math to layer it out. However, it's used often in war games because calculating distances very easily. It eliminates all need for trigonometry. So that's why you may see it pop up at times. So that is it. Until next time, I'm Tiro, and have fun making games. See ya.